Hello everyone and welcome to another Master Duel guide. Today we'll be talking about a really fun going second, a combo deck, and that is Fluffals. So the three main advantages of this deck is that it's a great going second deck and it consistently OTKs your opponents. OTK meaning one turn kill. Number two is that it has a really nice draw power, which can allow you to play through negates in some cases, which is really helpful, very fun too. Number three is that it has a lot of card destructions. So if some cards are giving you trouble on the field, you can just destroy them easily. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so this is my version of the deck. So we're gonna have 23 cards in total, with some copies of some cards, obviously. And yeah, so the first card is gonna be Fluffal Wings. We only need one copy of that, because that's all we need. Generally, what you wanna do with this card is send it to the graveyard so you can combo it with Toy Vendor. And all the combos I'm gonna show later in clips, so stick around to that part. Second, we're gonna have a Fluffal Sheep, a really nice extender. You could just special summon this if you control another Fluffal monster. And the second effect is really good too. You can return the other Fluffal monster on the field and special summon a Edge Imp from the graveyard. So really nice recycler and really nice to get monsters on the field to help you with your link summons and with your fusions. Yeah, very good card. We only need one copy of that as well. Next, we are gonna have Gem Sabers. You only need one of that as well. And this card is gonna help you fusion summon into some monsters because they specifically need Gem Sabers to fulfill the fusion requirements. Next, we're gonna have two bears, and you're only gonna use the effect of the bear. You never want to summon him, and to do that is what it does is just adds a toy sorry, what's it called, toy vendor. It just it sets it on the field, and you could just activate it from there. Next, we're gonna run two Ash Blossoms, and it's mostly to negate the Maxis, and and it's just a good hand trap to have. Next, we're gonna have Ejim Scythe. You can have either two or three here. I like it better at two, just so you won't break up. Because I mean, it is situational, but it is most likely it's gonna be helpful. So two or three works just fine. Make sure you experiment with that stuff, you know. Next, we're gonna have Fluffal Dog. I run three because it's a very helpful card, very good card. Yeah, you need three. I'm pretty sure. I would say. I haven't tried it at two. I like three better because you want to draw it often. Next, you're gonna have Edge Imp. Oh yeah, and what it does is basically adds another Edge Imp. It was either Edge Imp Saber, or most of the time you're just gonna add another Fluffal monster to your hand. Very helpful, very good effect. Three Edge Imp Chain. This card is amazing. It's gonna allow you to add a spell card, a Fright for spell card, which is either gonna most of the time it's gonna be Fright for Patchwork. That's your searcher, really good card as well. But sometimes you might need fusion or repair. So really good card. And you usually want to send this with to the graveyard with either like Forbidden Droplet or a Toy Vendor to start your combo off. Very good card. You definitely need three of that in your deck. Next, you're gonna have Fluffal Penguin. This is my favorite target to fusion summon because the effect is really nice. So the first effect is also really helpful. What you could do is summon him and then special summon another Fluffal monster from your hand to the field. So a lot of the times you're gonna draw the penguin and the dog, and you're just gonna summon penguin and then special summon dog, and then either fusion summon them off, right, depending on your hand, or you could also XZ summon into like Abyss Dweller, or or whatever. Yeah, and the second effect, so I like this card a lot because whenever you fusion summon it, it allows you to draw two cards and then discard a card. So really nice, very helpful. You need three of that in your deck. Next, we're gonna have Dolphin. You just need one of this, but it is a very powerful card. Don't get me wrong, but you only need one because it's a very specific combo that you're gonna do with it. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you add this with the dog if you have a toy vendor in the graveyard, which is going to be super easy to do because there's so many different ways to send this card to the graveyard, which we'll go over very shortly. Again, we can go over the combos and over the clips later in this video. So yeah, the combo you want to do is you summon Dolphin, you bring back the toy vendor, which is gonna allow you to send a card to the graveyard, and you almost always want to send Wings, and then Wings is gonna discard. A really nice combo. I'll show you again later. Next, Regeki. Just a great card, for going second decks, because if they have a really big board, you really need cards like Regeki to help you play in going second decks. Now, don't get me wrong. So this deck has a lot of destructions. That's true, but sometimes your opponent has a big field or a big board rather that it's very oppressive. It won't allow you to special summon monsters or fusion summon monsters. So you need cards like Regeki to help you, step over those cards and monsters and boards rather. Next, we're going to have 3 polymerizations. So you can have either 2 or 3. I found a lot more success with 3 polymerizations. I almost never break up with this card because, like we said, this deck has a lot of draw power. Like, you rarely break up with it. And it's really, really fun. Really good, nice combos. So I would have 3. I like 3. But if you guys worried about breaking up your deck, you can have 2. That's fine too. Next, we're going to have Frightful Fusion. By the way, if you have 2 of Polymerization, I would recommend adding another copy of Lightning Storm or Forbidden Droplet or Called by the Grave, which we'll talk about later. So next, we're going to have Frightful Fusion. I think we just need one of these since most of our fusions are going to be through polymerizations. And we don't have the Recycler. There's another monster that recycles your banished monsters, but I found it to be situational, and it's better to go over this way for me. Yeah, so what this does is fusion summons a monster, but it banishes from the graveyard. Next, we're gonna have Foolish Burial Goods. I would have 3 of this. I really like having 3 of this. If you guys, again, worried about breaking up, you can have 2. That's fine. Experiment away. I like having 3. Never had any issues with it. Next, we're gonna have Freffel Patchwork. Now, this card is basically your best card because it gives you a polymerization and it gives you an edge imp monster. So either the sabers, scythe, or the chain. Most of the time, well, it depends actually. It depends on which one you want. Because this one has a really nice effect too, which if it's in the graveyard, it protects one of your monsters, one of your fusion monsters from destruction. So sometimes you want to get this, sometimes you want to get this for the tiger or the wolf, or sometimes you want to get the chain for its effect. It depends, right? Really good card. I only have 2 because it's searchable with the chain. So I don't think you need 3. I think 2 is perfect because this card is searchable with chain. So I like that. I like that. I have 2. Next, you're gonna have Lightning Storm. Again, it's a going second deck, so you need cards like Regeki and Lightning Storm to destroy the back rows or destroy the attack monsters. Next, you're gonna have Frightful Repair. This card, honestly, sometimes it breaks up, sometimes, but it is a really powerful card, a very helpful card. I don't know how I feel about this card, honestly. If you play without it, you'll be completely fine. So you can add it, another card instead. But it's also nice to have for later games, for the grind game. So this card is definitely the weakest card in the deck, I would say. Next, you're gonna have Toy Vendor. 3 of this, 100%. This is your main card. This is gonna give you so much combos. It's a really, really good card. You need this card 100%. 3 of them for sure, no question. So what this does is it discards a card and you draw 1 card and then you show it. And then if it's a Fluffal, you can special summon extra time this turn. Sometimes you won't even use this effect, to be honest with you. The effect that we need this for is if it's sent to the graveyard. Perfect text, right? If it's sent to the graveyard. That's why we have 3 Foolish Burial Goods, so we can send it to the graveyard. Anyways, it searches for you, right? So if it's sent to the graveyard, you can add Sabers or a Fluffal monsters, right? So really, that's why we only play 1 Sabers, by the way, because we have so many searches for it, either with the dog or with the toy vendor, so, or with the Patrick. So definitely just 1 Sabers. Yeah, very good card. A lot of combos. We have a lot of combos that goes with this card, such as the Butterfly Wings and the Dolphin. Beautiful card. You need 3 of it. and also double cyclone. So I really love running double cyclone with these type of decks, because this destroys one of your opponent's cards and one of your cards, and you want to destroy one of your cards, right? So it's a win-win-win. It's really nice to have in this. I'll just have two here. I don't think you need three. Either two or one is fine. Twin Twister, so that's why I have two, right? So I have Twin Twister as well. Twin Twister you can either destroy one of your own cards, which is the Toy Vendor, or just destroy two of your opponent cards, and by discarding one card. So oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, this deck really likes being discarded, right? So you want to discard Chain a lot. You want to discard this card if you get it in your hand, and you want to discard, sometimes you want to discard the Bear if you already have a Toy Vendor. So, because you do want to have, or sometimes you, no, you don't want to discard the Scythe. You want to keep that for its special effect. But yeah, anyways, this card likes being discarded. So that's why we have Twin Twister, and that's why we have Forbidden Droplet. Next, we're gonna have Call by the Grave, great card to negate Maxi and to negate Ash Blossom. Self-explanatory. I would run two if I had another one. So you could run two if you want. Forbidden Droplet, I literally just added this card into this deck. I have not tried it yet, but I know it's just going to be perfect with this deck, because you could either send the Toy Vendor and combo off with it, or you could send the Chain from your hand. So a really good card with this deck. I highly recommend getting two or even three, maybe. I don't know. I can't say how many copies you should add because I haven't tried it yet, but I know that for sure you definitely need at least one, because it's a really good match with this deck. Next, we just have an infinite impermanence, just to negate our opponent. So that's two negates for you right there. So yeah, let's go into the extra deck. So we're gonna have Wolf. So this card is gonna allow you to OTK people, or opponents rather, so pretty easily. You just wanna fusion 4 monster into it. That way it's gonna attack 4 times. 4 times 2000, 8000. That's it. Game. Only summon this whenever you're sure that your opponent can't stop it, right? Because it is a weak monster, but the effect is really nice. And by weak monster, I mean it could be destroyed, it could be banished, it could be whatever, right? Next we have Tiger. Tiger is really powerful. So the way this works is it destroys the same number of fusion material used on it. So if you use 3 materials, it destroys 3 cards. If you use 4, it destroys 4 cards. And it gains 300 attack for each Fluffal monster and Frightful monster you control. Really good effect as well. Yeah, amazing card. You definitely need it. At least one, I would say. Sabretooth is really nice too. So the way you would go in this is you fuse one of the Frightfur's fusions with one of your Fluffals or Edging monsters, right? And it special summons from the graveyard the same monster. Usually it's the same monster that you just fusion summoned it off, right? Again, if it gets confusing by wording, I'm going over clips later. Next, we can have the Fright for Kraken. I love this card a lot. So this card, it just sends one monster from your field from your opponent field to the graveyard. So it sends it, does not destroy it. So that's why this is really important, because sometimes some monsters are indestructibles, and that's when you want to use this effect. Also, this card can help you OTK with your opponents, especially if it's comboed with the whale, because it can attack twice, right? So it can attack twice, and the whale can bump his attack. The attack up even by 1000 or by 1500 if you, depending on what you send to the graveyard, and help you OTK. So it attacks twice, and it also has another effect where if it attacks this turn, it could switch off to defense, which is nice too if you're short on cards. If you want to have a monster on defense, really nice option to have. Next, honestly, I've never summoned this card. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I just have it so I can send it to the graveyard because it has the highest attack point. For whale, right? So we'll go over whale right now. This is most of the time you're gonna want to summon whale, probably, especially if you're going second and you're gonna activate the Scythe's effect, which is you can, it's a hand trap, right? So you could just fusion summon without the polymerization during your opponent's turn. Very important. You want to do this during your opponent's turns. You can only do it during your opponent's turn, actually. So very important. I'll show you again the combo later. Yeah. So what this does is if it comes to the field, it destroys one of your cards and one of their cards. But if this is in the graveyard, it can protect itself. Again, I'll show you later if you're confused. Uh, I have not used this card yet, but it's just a nice XZ option to have, I guess. If you're scared of a monster on your opponent's field and you don't want it to go to the graveyard, you could just shovel it back to their deck. Abyss Dweller, really good card. It negates the graveyard effects by detaching one monster. Most of the time, or all of the time, you're gonna summon this with Penguin and Dog because they can Penguin summons Dog, and then you could just XZ summon. Yeah. Next, we're gonna have Phoenix. You guys should know what Phoenix does. It's a link monster. It just if you could discard a card and then you can destroy a spell trap card. Crash Sheep, really nice with this deck as well. So if you have the opportunity, you can go into Crash Sheep and then fusion summon a monster. That way you gain a special, an extra effect, which is you're going to special summon level 4 from the graveyard. Next, Anaconda is basically to use Fretful Fusion from your deck. You go into Anaconda. Next, you get Decoy Tucker. I want to talk about this card. This card is really nice in this deck, really nice because it protects your monsters because it negates, right? And at the same time, it has good attack points and it gains even more attack points. I have a video or a clip rather that specifically goes over Decoy Tucker. I'll show you guys later. Very nice. Nightmare Unicorn, another card where the link card. You can have 3 monsters link up and shuffle one card back into your opponent's deck if it's giving you that much trouble. Next, we're gonna have Access Card Talker, just in case your OTKs didn't work somehow, or most of them are in the graveyard. You still have Access Card Talker, just waiting nicely for you in your deck. Also, this card, your opponent cannot respond to the activation. That's why it's so powerful. So it's a nice insurance card to have in your extra deck. All right, so let's go to some of the clips I mentioned earlier, and hopefully that'll explain further, and highlight the strengths of this deck. So yeah. Okay, so first the clip, we're gonna go over the draw power of this deck, right? So as you can see, we only have 3 cards in the field. Our opponent only has like a field spell in his hand as well. Just a lot of stuff happened. We just kept destroying each other's cards. That's how we ended up here. But anyways, as you can see, I want you to see that he has 8,000 life points, right? And we don't have like much power, like you see, like we don't have a lot of card power here. So this is what we're gonna do. It all started out with the Foolish Burial Goods. We're gonna send the toy vendor to the graveyard, and then the toy vendor is gonna add a dog to our hand. And I'll show you why I added a dog, right? So the dog is gonna add a Fluffal Wings, and the toy vendor is gonna send the Fluffal Wings, gonna add another dog, and and boom. Oh, okay, so this is what happened. Oh, sorry. So let me explain why we add another dog, right? What toy vendor does is if you draw a Fluffal, it allows you to special summon a monster, right? So I was like, yeah, why not? I'll summon another dog. I didn't add this on purpose. I just happened to draw it with the toy vendor effect. That's what happened. So I summon it, and the Fluffal Wings go off. So I banish 2 monsters in order to draw a card, draw another card, and then search. So look at that. That's ridiculous. We were only at 3 cards on the field, and now look at all this. Next, we're gonna have the sheep. This is why I love the sheep, right? You could just special summon it if you have another Fluffal, and then from there you can link it off, right? I believe you go on the Anaconda here to finish him off. Yeah, Anaconda. Anaconda is gonna send the Frightful Refusion, and from there we're gonna go into the Wolf, since we know that our opponent just can't do anything about it. Oh yeah, we fusion summon all these monsters, we get the Wolf, and we attack 4 times, and he can even attack more because we fusion summon like 6 monsters with it. So boom, game. Very nice, very simple OTK. Again, this OTK is kind of situational. It's only if you want to like kind of flex, I guess, or if you know your opponent can respond to your 2000 attack, multiple times. It's just the simplest way to OTK. Okay, so the next one is our opponent already has a field, right? He has like his board rather, and what we're gonna do is Lightning Storm is attacking monsters, right? Because it's a pendulum monster, so I just wanted to get rid of those pendulum monsters. That's why I didn't do the spell and trap cards. We're gonna do Full Burial into Toy Vendor. Obviously, we're gonna search on monsters. We're gonna add the penguin in this case. From there, we're gonna do the bear to set an extra. Sorry, to send an extra Toy Vendor straight from the deck into the field. From there, we're gonna activate it. We are gonna send the Fluffal wings. Oh, rather the chain. Sorry. So let's see. Why did I add the chain? So I can add polymerization. Okay, so we add the Flash Fusion. We already had the patchwork, that's why. We add a poly, we add edge and saber, polymerization. So this is why I didn't send the Fluffal wings, right? Because I needed to poly into it. From here we get the Kraken. So we do the Fluffal wing combo. We add +3. Summon the penguin, summon the bear, and the sheep. And then this is where we go into the decode talker. This is why it's so important, right? So the decode talker will be protecting these monsters. And then on top of this, we're going to get the whale, of course. So this is the combo that I told you about earlier with the whale and the kraken. That's how you OTK. And on top of that, if you have the decode talker, like, it's perfect, right? Because it's going to protect your monster right now. So he tried to destroy the kraken, but I just send the whale to the graveyard to protect him, to negate the effect with decode talker. So the reason we did this, right? Because kraken can attack twice, right? And he got the boost already from the whale, so the whale's mission is over. That's why we sent him to the graveyard and not the kraken. So next we are gonna be playing against a Drytron deck. Let's see what our opponent does. He's doing his, the normal Drytron shenanigans, summoning, Delta, Alpha, blah blah blah. Ben 10, yep. So I want you guys to see what I'm waiting for here, right? I'm waiting for the perfect opportunity to activate my Edge Imp Scythe, right? Because you can't just, activate, you can't just type yes and activate everything, right? So I waited for him to do this, right? I waited for him to go into the Fafnir, and from here I'm like, nope, that's all you get. We go into the Edge Imp Scythe, activate it. We have the penguin, so you obviously want to do the penguin use. Go into the whale. So this is the basic combo, right? You want to go into the whale so you can destroy yourself, the whale, and his monster. But it's not going to get destroyed because of the scythe's second ability. You can banish it to protect him. From there we're gonna draw 2 cards, right? Because of the penguin effect, because we fused it, and we happen to draw a toy vendor. And so we obviously send the toy vendor to the graveyard because that's what we want, and then the toy vendor is gonna search a monster for us. So we added the dolphin. So can you guys see why I added the dolphin? Because next turn, it's a very nice setup for next turn. Because next turn I'm gonna summon the dolphin and then get the toy vendor back on the field, and then send the butterfly wing. And then I already showed the butterfly wing combo with the toy vendor. So that's why. Amazing draw power, really nice setups. So that's how you use your Edge Imp Scythe ability during your opponent's turn. Okay, so our next replay here is, if I remember correctly, it's yeah, it's a Thunder Dragon deck, right? So Thunder Dragon is a big counter to our deck actually, because it doesn't allow us to search, right? And our deck is a very big search deck, right? So we're like, oh crap here, right? He got the Colossus, we can't search. So how are we gonna get over this, right? Thankfully we already had Poly, and we had like an Edge Imp and a Fluffal monster. So this is what we do. We go into the Kraken in this case, so we could just send the Colossus into the graveyard, right? So we can get rid of him. We had to do that, right? Because we couldn't search. Now we can search freely. So we go into the Patchwork, search Poly and a Scythe. From there, we're gonna do the dog ability to add the penguin. From there, we're gonna hit the Poly, and you'll see what I go over here. So I go over 3, so our Sabertooth won't be destructible, won't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So the Sabertooth effect goes on. We're gonna special summon the same fusion monster we just sent, the Kraken, and the penguin's gonna. Oh, that was so lucky. Okay, so here's what happened, right? So we got really lucky here. The penguin allowed us to draw and discard, right? So this is why the penguin is amazing in this deck too. Allows us to draw and discard at the same time. And we love being discarded, especially the wings, right? So we discard the wings. So now we're gonna do another bear, get another toy vendor, because why not, right? And then we're gonna do the wings combo. You always want to get rid of the bear too, by the way, because his mission is over, right? His entire mission is to bring the toy vendor on the field. So we go into +3 here. We draw, and then we search. We get to the sheep, and here we just attack directly, I guess, because it was enough. But you can go always into more options. There you go. So yeah, the Kraken is really nice because it can attack twice as well. So it can help you with the OTKs. And yeah, that was it for the clips. Yep. Alright guys, coin flip. We win it, so we go second. As you can see, we are in Plat 2, facing Plat 1. Duelist. So we'll see what he plays here. Okay, 2 dogs, 1 bear, Regeki and Lightning Stone. Okay. Ooh, Sky Strikers. Interesting. I think I've played against Sky Strikers with this deck before. It was definitely interesting. I hope he like sets 4 and passes or something. That'd be nice. Okay, so I'm already thinking of what to do here, right? I'm gonna like obviously do the bear's effect to set the toy vendor, and then from there I'll summon the dog to add maybe wings, sort of, you know, the wings, the Fluffal wings maybe. That way I can send the wings and do the combo from there, so I can draw more. I don't know. It all depends on what we draw next. We'll see. We'll see what we do. It'd be really nice if we get chain. What does this card do? I've never seen this one before. So it's a Sky Striker Orchestra deck. What does this card do? Okay. So straight up, we're just gonna destroy that back row. What is that gonna? Oh, that negates it? Wow. I had no idea that negates it. That's kind of crazy. Okay. Is it once per turn? It is not once per turn? Let's just do this anyways. It does have materials left, actually. Let's do the bear first, because I don't want my Patrick to be negated. He has Ash Blossom. Does not negate. Of course, I don't want to set this with these cards, because they could be infinite impermanence. Okay. Yeah, I'll activate this last. Let me go with the dog first. Oh, here's a tip by the way. This was a mistake. You're gonna summon those normal monsters and these right here, because you want to save that for the, if you do a cross sheep, you want to save the middle column for the fusion monsters. What did we say we're gonna do? Do we have toy vendor here yet? No. We're gonna yeah, we'll do the wings for sure. Yeah, we'll do wings. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna send the wings. Hopefully we get a Fluffal draw here. We don't know. Even if we don't, it's completely fine. Max C. Okay. So he didn't have Ash yet. Max C. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. Here's the deal, right? I'm gonna banish you. And we're gonna banish you. And draw another card and search. Beautiful. Yes, Twin Twister, let's go. Twin Twister. Not yet, not yet. Let's get a penguin here for sure. Because we're gonna fuse in a second. So we don't need the dolphin anymore because we already did that combo. Patchwork. We're gonna add a which one? The chain? The scythe. For the sabers. Actually, let's add the sabers for no. Let's add the chain for an extra fusion later. Crap. Here's what we're gonna do. Special. I don't think he has Nibiru, right? Let's just special summon this in defense. And let's do Twin Twisters here already. Get rid of the dog because we don't need it anymore. Destroy these cards. Probably like spell cards for this guy. Yeah, there we go. He's waiting for the strong monsters. Oof. The strongest cards, man. Damn. Alright. OTK incoming. That's why I love Twin Twister. Alright, from here we're gonna poly. Go into Kraken. Yeah, let's go into Kraken for now. Maybe we should have done the cross sheep first. What am I doing? It's okay. Maybe it's not necessary, but it's better to do a cross sheep too. We'll add Fright for fusion. We will discard poly. I don't think I need to play this right now. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into Decode Talker. And we're gonna fuse into the whale. That way I can negate, anything he throws at me. Yeah, we definitely won the whale. The dog. And edge chain. We're gonna summon him in the middle because we want him to point at him. Alright. From here we're gonna just end the game, So I'm gonna attack with decode first. Does he have interruptions? Oh, he does not. So we can attack. And right here, I'm gonna activate his effect. Kraken will gain the attack. Actually, this was an overkill but yeah, we had an extra attack with the Kraken as well. So that was a perfect game to show you guys how powerful this deck is. Yeah, and this was against Sky Strikers, against a Plat 1 player. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Peace.